Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to study a topic in biology known as feeding habits. Feeding habits deals with ways organisms obtain and process their food. We are going to study this important topic with questions and answers for a better understanding. The first question we have here says, which of the following is a carnivorous animal? A. Butterfly. B. Grasshopper. C. Lion. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is C. Lion. Lion is a carnivorous animal. A carnivorous animal is an animal that feeds on flesh. The next question says, the organisms that feed on small particles suspended in water are called dash. A. Microphagous feeders. B. Fluid feeders. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Microphagous feeders. Microphagous feeders are those organisms that feed on small particles found in water. They move in water and they select small particles suspended in water. So they feed on tiny organisms that are found in water. The next question says, the following are herbivores except dash. A. Grasshopper. B. Goats. C. Rabbits. D. Cats. In this question, the correct answer is D. Cats. Herbivores are those organisms that feed on grasses. So, examples of herbivores are grasshopper, goats, rabbits, etc. But cat does not feed on grass. The next question says, the organisms that feed on plants and animal juices are best described as dash. A. Fluid feeders. B. Microphagous feeders. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Fluid feeders. Fluid feeders are those organisms that feed on juices found in plants and animals. There are organisms that suck the juice from animal sources and also from plant sources. Those organisms are called fluid feeders. The next question says, the following are heterotrophic organisms except dash. A. Rats. B. Rabbits. C. Sheep. D. Orange plants. In this question, the correct answer is D. Orange plants. Heterotrophic organisms are those organisms that depend on plants directly or indirectly for food. So rats, rabbits, sheep are regarded as heterotrophic organisms because they cannot manufacture their food through photosynthesis. But orange plants can carry out photosynthesis, so is regarded as an autotroph. The next question says, carnivorous plants inhabit areas deficient in dash. A. Nitrogen. B. Water. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Nitrogen. Carnivorous plants are those plants that obtain their nutrients from insects. They feed on insects Research have shown that these carnivorous plants are usually found in environments that lack nitrogen. So they make up their own nitrogen, or they get their nitrogen from insects. When insects visit these carnivorous plants have adaptive features that they use to capture these insects. So when those insects die after some days of starvation, the nitrogen in the body of those insects will be used or be absorbed by the cells of these carnivorous plants. So God made them that way. God made these plants to get their nitrogen from insects, in the sense that, or because of the fact that they are found in an environment that is deficient in this important plant nutrient known as nitrogen. The next question says, the following organisms are suckers except dash. A. Aphid. B. Butterfly. C. Sassafly. D. Goats. In this question, the correct answer is D. Goats. So all the options we have here apart from D are suckers. They are organisms that obtain their nutrients by sucking juices from other organisms. So aphid is a sucker, butterfly is a sucker, sassafly is a sucker, but goat is not a sucker. The next question says, which of the following organisms feeds on the remains of dead plants and animals? A. Mushroom. B. Man. C. Lion. D. Cats. In this question, the correct answer is A. Mushroom. So there are organisms that feed on the remains of dead plants and animals. These organisms are called saprophytes. So mushroom is an example of an organism that obtains its food from the remains of dead plants and animals. The next question says, a type of feeding whereby an organism obtains its food from another organism known as the host and causes harm to the host is best described as dash. A. Parasitic feeding. B. Autotrophic feeding. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Parasitic feeding. This parasitic feeding is a type of feeding whereby an organism obtains its food from another organism called the host and causes harm to the host. This type of feeding is observed in different organisms such as tapeworm, mistletoe, liver fluke, and other parasites. So it's a type of feeding observed among parasitic organisms. The next question says, which of the following is a scavenger? A. Vulture. B. Grasshopper. C. Goats. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Vulture. A vulture is regarded as a scavenger because it obtains its food by feeding on dead and decaying animals. So any organism that obtains its food or nutrients by feeding on dead and decayed animals is best described as a scavenger. The next question says, a type of feeding whereby an organism expands its mouth cavity and draws water containing its prey for consumption is best described as dash. A. suction feeding, B. saprophytic feeding, C. all of the above, D. none of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. suction feeding. This suction feeding is a type of feeding whereby an organism expands its mouth to draw water containing its food. And research have shown that this type of feeding is observed in aquatic or among aquatic organisms. The next question says, which of the following is a suction feeder? A. fish, B. grasshopper, C. all of the above, D. none of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. fish. So fish is an example of an organism that has the ability of opening its mouth and creating a pressure in the water in the process of getting its food. So there are some fishes such as shark that obtains its food through this process known as suction. The next question says, which of the following plants obtains its nutrients from insects? A. tomato, B. sundew, C. orange plants, D. cassava plants. In this question, the correct answer is B. sundew. Sundew is a plant that feeds on insects. It's one of the carnivorous or insectivorous plants. So this sundew feeds on insects and obtain nitrogen from insects. If this is the first time you are watching our video, if this is the first time you are joining this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel so that you can study other topics that we have treated in many of our videos. You can also drop questions or comments in this channel so that we will react to that.